Shalom, my name is Yoshua Yaakov Ben-Avraham. Formerly Michael O'Donnell, American citizen, a didactic scientist, the author of Humanomics, the East-West convergence model for the post-collapse of the local reality globally, and its two paradigms. The central organizing principle of the new East-West convergence model is receive to give. That's the new cognitive behavioral science first principle. And the new economic paradigm, the integration of labor. This is about my plans for 2009. It is to celebrate Barack Obama's election as President of the United States, to see him secure a mandate from the Congress of the United States to develop, implement, and acculturate the new economic paradigm model in general, and in particular as world-class global technologic infrastructure for America and all Americans, as the macro integral differential job creation calculus for the entire economy, meaning that it will have an overall effect on the overall economy, and it will have particular local effects in every corner of the country, in every state and city and town. Okay, I'm the author of Humanomics and its two paradigms. My plan for 2009 is to see that mandate in law, which will require the development, education, acculturation, and investment of $5 trillion over a 20-year life of the project. The development will pretty much be completed by years 16 through 18. And it'll be in surplus from years 11 and 12 through 20. 60% of the investment will come from the G9, 40% from America. And it will take the American economy from a 14 trillion gross domestic product to a 45 to 50 trillion gross domestic product. Now, this is a supply side macro project, but let us emphasize that the relationship between growth and fairness is the key to this project. I own the underlying intellectual property, patentable technology to produce this project. And I'm committed to putting it in the public trust, but I have conditions. And those conditions will necessitate that the mandate in law for its development, implementation, and acculturation, creating tens of millions of jobs, tens of thousands of jobs a month from the end of year one, will require a formula and a prescription of fairness to growth, growth to fairness, meaning that for the entire American economy to prosper and grow to 3 times its present level, and to transform the value, the purchasing power and value of the American dollar threefold in the same time frame. In fact, several econometric models suggest it could actually quadruple in those 20 years. We're not sure. We're pretty sure the probabilities are highest at the threefold increase. It will eliminate the national debt. It will eliminate the Social Security deficit. The trade deficit will be eliminated. The Social Security deficit will be eliminated. It will provide surplus sufficient to educate every American from kindergarten through college, and provide national health insurance from cradle to grave. It's a win-win situation. It will quadruple the foreign aid to the LDCs. It's a win-win situation. This is what I'm going to do in 2009 and beyond, God willing. Only with God's help. Now, the sticky wicket, the problem that I see is not political and legislative, technologic. It's based on world-class science, world-class tech. It's a win-win situation. But that sticky wicket that I envision is the formulation that has to be in the legislative mandate, so that we get the balance between the growth that we seek and the fairness in the distribution of that wealth. And owning the intellectual property, I am not going to commit it to a bunch of thieving politicians who are spin doctors creating legislation in Washington to produce the theft of this on Wall Street. I've already had the offers. I've already been interviewed hundreds of times, and I can remember when some clown in Merrill Lynch was telling me, "Oh, it's worth $500 million. You're a rich guy." All right, well, that was 20 years ago, so maybe 20 years ago, maybe it was right. Okay, but in any event, we don't need another Warren Buffett or another Mungie Slim or Chucky Bronfman or whatever. We don't need that. What we need is authentic leadership in science and technology in managing, directing, and providing the vision, the over-the-horizon vision, and the actual content and original science and technology to lead America, to benefit Americans. That means precisely formulations of the balance between growth and fairness. Okay, having said that, Humanomics is the trilogy that will provide those prescriptions. It's the East-West convergence model, coming from a background of, let's see, anthropological humanist was my Abba, my father, and my Ima, my mother, was traditional spiritualist. When you combine those two into Michael O'Donnell, whose mother was Jewish, who returns to his roots and now lives for the last 22 years in Jerusalem, you get Yoshua Yaakov, that's me, a didactic scientist, and the author of Humanomics, which is the East-West convergence model. I observed the collapse of the local reality globally 18 years ago. And so the God of the cosmos, the Kodesh Baruch Hu, said, okay, so I gave you eyes to see and a mind to the empirical and logical faculty to comprehend, well, first, not comprehend, to recognize in this chaotic observation the complexity within it, and to document it and to construct what replaces the collapse of these two East-West systems, and that's Humanomics, and that's the convergence model. And so Humanomics is the new humanity's new center of gravity, and Receive It to Give is its central organizing principle, which is the new cognitive behavioral science paradigm, whether religious or whether an anthropological humanist, or secular. That simply means the transformation or the shift from the pre-modern modern to the ascent of the postmodern era in cognitive man, from behavioral man to cognitive man. And for the religious, it's regardless of stripe of the three monotheistic religions, it's redemption, it's salvation. It has lots of names, which is again the ascent of man. And from my perspective, as a anthropological humanist and a traditional spiritualist, hybrid didactic scientist, it's all about the continuity of the generations. It is the understanding of the collapse of the local reality, its grammar, its metagrammar, which was embodied and expressed in the event of 9/11, and providing the leadership and the over-horizon vision and content and direction to get man and mankind to where we're going, and with the least amount of distress. But where we are right now is the collapse of the local reality, folks. Whether individual, family, community, nation, all mankind, giving to receive, which was the old model of man's exile, has collapsed and ain't coming back, folks. No way. And the new that replaces it, receiving to give, and receiving the authentic you to give the authentic you, to your children, family, community, all mankind. Thanks for listening. I'm the author of Humanomics Trilogy and its two paradigms, and that's what I plan to do in the year 2009. Fully support Barack Obama, and we thank all who have endorsed my work, and we bless you from Jerusalem. Kabel b'shvilatet. That's receiving to give.